We're finally at that point where we could say summer vacation is coming and I can start planning my summer basically. Now for some people, summer equals a summer trip to Europe. For some, it's just a couple of camping trips. But ultimately, what it means to a lot of people is to take a break. It's basically to change your habits. It's be able to step out of your routine and take a break and enjoy yourself. It's to be adventurous and really embrace that. For a lot of people, it's also synonym with trying new things, which is Bud Light Lime Mojito. Now, before we go any further, please allow me to introduce my teammates. We have Caitlin and James, myself, Rosalind. Together, we are BOG Consulting. So what are we here to do today? Well, our mandate is very clear. We're about to embark the second season of our product, and we want to really gain a clear positioning in the mind of our consumers moving forward. And our objective at the end of this campaign is really to be able to say that we are the first go-to brand in terms of beer of the summer whenever those young adults are looking for their summer beer. So without further ado, I'll pass it on to Jamie to take over.
Thank you, Rose.
Yeah.
So if we take a look at our few key issues here, first off we have the competition, which is by far the biggest factor of issues in the beer industry. We have wine and spirits, which are slowly taking over, becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. Now wine is synonymous with dinner time. We want to find something that will make Bud Light Lime Mojito synonymous. We want to make something synonymous with Bud Light Lime Mojito. There's also many different segments in the beer market. As it's well known, there are 4 different segments, and they're all fighting for the same amount of consumers, all from the same market, especially here in Canada. It's also, the Bud Light Lime Mojito is a seasonal product, meaning that it's offered pretty much, it's synonymous with summer, it's exclusive with summer, and that we face a challenge there. Because currently we have, well, AB InBev has in grocery stores a limited amount of shelf space, and to deal with the shelf space, we'll have to remove one of our other brands in order to get Bud Light Lime Mojito in for the summertime. So if we take a look, we have to position the brand properly in order to differentiate it from the other brands so that we don't risk cannibalization. Now if we take a look at, well, just touching upon those 3 key issues. We have our industry overview now, which is relates to our economic trend. The industry is currently flat, meaning that the beer segment is not growing as much anymore. It's not growing at the fast pace that it used to, and it's kind of flattening out, meaning that consumers are looking at other alternatives and substitutes as well. There's relatively inelastic demand for beer, however, which is a bonus, meaning price won't affect the product too much. People are still going to buy beer, even in tough economic times. If we take a look at regulation, government has control over how much we can price our beer. We can't give away free samples of the product, which is a bit of a challenge for everyone in the industry. If we take a look at our shelf space, again, it's limited. We don't necessarily have, we'd have to move around our shelving in order to get our Bud Light Lime Mojito onto the shelf. If we take a look at the beer segment, as touched upon before, there are 4 key ones. There's also microbreweries, brewers who are becoming more and more popular. Our target market of Mark, who was mentioned in the case, will be, he's also inclined to go get his beer at a brewer. He likes a different taste. So that is a issue in our industry. So if we move ahead now. Constant innovation is key in the beer industry, meaning that AB InBev has to have a different product, a different taste, or a different look for their product in order for it to be successful. Moving forward, as touched upon before, there's the competition, wine and spirits. Again, it's an indirect competition, it's a substitute, but it's a huge, huge, huge threat. If we take a look at microbrews, which we touched upon before, it's cool, it's new, it's different, and that's now becoming the norm among the younger generation. And the fanatics tend to enjoy the taste of microbrews beers because it's different and it's going against the grain. If we take a look at all the other segments again, there's 4 different segments, and AB InBev is currently in just about all of them. But in order to differentiate itself, we have to find a niche within one of these segments or a combination of a few of them, bringing us to the point of the competition in the beer industry is fierce and by far the biggest outside threat to AB InBev and a product like Bud Light Lime Mojito because of the differentiation and choices. If we take a look at positioning maps of products owned by AB InBev, we currently can see that Stella is like the premium, Bud Light may just be like at the lower end, but in terms of relation of price and premium, Bud Light Lime Mojito is currently in a big gap, which could easily be filled and taken over and made for profit and success. So if we take the takeaway from that, we have to capitalize on that empty space in the positioning map, and by creating a seasonal product that will offer a premium flavor at a bit of a premium price, will be best for AB InBev. taking a look at our internal analysis, the price is currently at a good spot. Each one of these tables are highlighted in different colors in order to indicate how well or in the middle each one is in our analysis. So we currently have a penetrating price. Consumers like the price, seeing that it was 35% more sales forecasted than anticipated. So price is great. The product, though, however, it's a very different product from all the products. Like it fits in with summertime, but it's not. It could be a fad. Coors Light tried to offer iced tea beer. That failed miserably because also it tastes horrible. The product does taste good, but it could be a fad, which is something that we have to consider and keep in mind that it could be a red flag. So if we take a look at place, 4 to 5 purchases are made in the grocery stores, and we are in grocery stores everywhere, which is pretty good. Point of sale could be a little bit better, which we'll touch upon later in our implementation. And lastly, the promotion, the in-store displays are good. We like the way they look with the Bud Light Lime umbrella on the top of the stand. We figured that that's appropriate and very catchy. We want to promote it as summer's beer, and we want to be at a lot of summertime events so that we can properly place the product and create a clear positioning for the Bud Light Lime mojito. So the product could be a fad, as I mentioned before. So differentiating it and creating a clear position would be best for a bev. Keeping in mind that the product could also, it's a very risky product, so it could be hit or miss. I'll now pass you to Rose who'll go over the target.
So you have mentioned to us the target market that you're going after. So you have mentioned Mark. However, if you take a closer look, even in this room, we can see that our target market is actually standing right beside me. So we have Jamie, who's a 23-year-old university student. He works really hard. He's very committed to his work, but his motto is, I'm going to work hard, but I'm going to play harder. So when the summer vacation hits, he's going to fully embrace it. He's going to take advantage of it. If you couldn't tell yet, he's a pretty charming young boy, and he does like to mingle with the ladies, and he's just waiting for that opportunity. He's just waiting for that opportunity during his summer parties to really be able to embrace it and have fun. So who could he potentially meet at those poolside parties? Well, we have Carmen, for example, who's 21. She also goes to university with Jamie. And her too, she wants to work hard but play harder. She recently moved from out of town. She moved to the city to continue her university. And because mainly she was looking for a change. She wanted to step out of her routine and she wanted to meet new people. So even though they might be slightly different, what they both have in common is the fact that they are both looking for innovative products. They dislike routine, they want to step out of this, and they are daring. So they are daring, they are willing to try new products. And what are they going to meet over? Basically a Bud Light Lime mojito. Now, moving forward, we're going to address our key issues. So we did say that competition and the seasonality of the product is a challenge that we need to overcome. So what we need to really do here is take a closer look at our customers and see what kind of insight we can take from them. So moving forward, we wanted to really take this into the framework that we were going to implement in order to position the product, to have really a clear position in the market. So what is the consumer insight that we were finally able to get from this? Well, ultimately, our customers want something different. They don't want routine, and whenever the heat of the summer hits, they are in vacation mode and they just want something refreshing, cool, out of the ordinary that's going to help them achieve that. Now, what the brand is, or the truth about this product is the fact that ultimately it's a Labatt trusted product. The reputation is here. There is no proof to be made. The reputation is here and precedes it. It's very different. It's very spontaneous. Ultimately, you are combining two different types of alcoholic beverages who at first might seem like a clash, but ultimately it worked out well. It was exactly what the consumers needed. You were actually successfully able to combine it with a very world-famous taste, which is the mojito itself. And it's really a perfect blend, it's a perfect knit, it hit it, it's exactly what our consumers want. So what the personality of the brand is right now, what the Bud Light Lime mojito currently stands for is that it's outgoing, it's adventurous, it's innovative, and it's Jamie's wingman, ultimately. When he's going to go to a club, he's going to meet a girl over these bars, this beer. And really, it's the confidence that you need, it's a little confidence that you're lacking in order to go out there and really be able to socialize with people. And before we come with a brand positioning, we wanted to go back to your core mission statement, which is ultimately to be that it starts from the consumer, not the beer. We are going to find what is needed in the market, and we are going to tailor it towards that. So ultimately, what's the idea here that we want to really focus on? That it's your summer nights, man. It's really what you're going for. It's what whenever you want to have fun, this is the beer that you're going to go for ultimately. So how is this going to be the beer of summer? There is a lot of summery flavors out there that the consumer can choose from. But how can we possibly make sure that this is ultimately the flavor that they are going to go for? I'll pass it on to Kate, who will take a closer look at it.
So, we've looked at the consumer insights, but we want to go deeper. We've looked at the human insights that males want to attract women. They want to find a mate. They want to be adventurous and fun and find something new and different in the summer. That's what summer is all about. It's really about experimenting and being something different. So from this human insight, we've come up with a big idea. And the big idea is the currency of the marketing industry. It's what really lifts the entire brand and makes it relevant to each and every individual that we're targeting. It needs to be engaging and surprising, so it makes people participate. We want to be a part of the brand, be associated with AB InBev and the Bud Light Lime Mojito. So from this point, it's crucial to know that participation equals purchase. You need to make people personally associated with your brand, why they want to drink Bud Light Lime Mojito, why they want to be associated when they're drinking this, and how this is going to go further. So as you can see, there's many rival microbreweries, and what we've seen is that the Lime Mojito brand really touches on all four of these. It combines the core segment, which is that Bud Light, it's Bud Light, it's a strong, powerful brand, and it's easily drinkable. Next, we move on to the domestic, which it's a variety, usually offers a variety of flavors, and this is what this does. You have the mojito, which is the spirit. It's not fruity, but it's that drink that everyone goes to when they're on vacation. And then you also have the beer that people drink when they're in Canada. So it combines both two and gives people that variety of flavor that the domestic beer does. And while it incorporates the imports, which is exotic flavor, as I just mentioned. And not only this gives a discount, mojitos are expensive. When you buy spirits and other drinks at clubs and bars, mojitos are more expensive than just a regular beer. So what it does is it gives you this option at a less price. So really what it's doing is it's giving a unique flavor, a new experience, and with an uncharted taste with the power backed by Bud Light. So let's look how we're going to really implement this summer nightstand, that it's adventurous and that you want to be involved in it. First, nowadays it is crucial that you are part of online social media. Without being online and having online presence, you will not survive as a brand. People want to be associated. Today, in today's day and age, people are voyagers, they're narcissists, and they want to show you what they're doing in every moment of their life. They want to show you, this is what I do, this is what I'm doing here, I'm here today. They want people to follow and be engaged in what they're doing. So what we're doing is giving them the social platform to engage not only with their peers, but with your brand. So we've created an Instagram content which would be shared on Twitter and Facebook. And this would be hashtag BudLM as Lime Mojito. And we want to know, how do you pick up? How do you pick up? We want to know your best pickup line. And from this contest, people would be entered to win the ultimate pool party, which at the end of the summer, Bud Light would host this huge pool party. And the winners of these contests would be get a ticket to go to this party. So moving on, we want to look at the in-store displays. As we've seen in your imaging and in your in-store displays, you offer two choices. You have your Bud Light Lime and your Bud Light Lime Mojito. Giving people the option of choice is crucial today. People want to know that they have options and that they made that personal choice. Because we are used to having choices, whether we want to, whatever flavor we want, people want to know that you have the choice and that they made the decision, not that they were forced to choose one. So we believe this strategy that you have chosen to package them together, or not package them together, but have them stand side by side, the lime and the lime mojito, is a great way to give people that choice and get them engaged to make the choice of choosing lime mojito. And as Jamie mentioned before, the green umbrella is a great symbol. It makes people, oh wow, there's a green umbrella. I want to know what's under that umbrella. So it's a great way to make people, to draw them really to your products. So next we want to move on to the mass media implementation. So we believe that using mass media such as Quebec magazines and Maximum Golf magazines are really where we want to create the advertising. This is where males go to look in magazines. This is where the target segment of usually men like Jamie will go and look and want to see a product and what it would look like. So the ad will portray something like, say for example, I'm actually allergic to beer, so I can't drink beer. So if a guy offers me a beer, I have to say no. because I can't. So what we're giving them, we want to portray the option that the conversation doesn't have to stop there. We can offer a Bud Light Lime Mojito, which gives other options and really keeps that conversation going. Again, being their wingman and helping them get that girl. So next is events and sponsorship. As we all know, golf is an amazing sport. It used to be kind of your dad's sport, but now more and more often, young males are becoming incorporated in this great sport. It's a leisure sport, and not only do you get to play a sport, but you get to drink and communicate with your friends and have a great time. So what we'd like to do is sponsor a golf tournament at St. Raphael, which is one of the major golf courses here that young males attend. So what we'd like to do is sponsor an event there where we put up a Bud Light Lime Mojito stand with the Bud Light girls that we've seen and have them offer samples, because when people try a great product such as the Lime Mojito Bud Light, they are engaged and they become incorporated. The more you try, the more participation you get, and as I said before, participation equals purchase. And we'd also like to offer the Every Sunday 2 for 1 year, which again just creates that partnership between the customer and the product. The second event we'd like to incorporate is the Formula One. The Formula One is a huge event in Montreal, and it's crucial to be a part of that event. So we know that there's a large event that happens on Crescent Street each and every year, and it's crucial to get a booth on this street, again, for trial. And the more people try, the more they can engage and get really a taste of what this product is. And with this formula, we'd like to offer, like us on Facebook, as we have a model there to take a picture with. And this, again, is on Facebook. You like the picture, you see your pictures, and then once you like our Facebook page, winners, and you receive Bud Light Lime here and Formula One here. So just to show how this timeline would progress over the summer, as this is a seasonal product, as we mentioned before. It would start in April, which was the print and mass media. This is really when the imaging and the brand messaging would really be concrete and get set to go. In May, this would be really when people start to hit the golf course, and that's when we could start to implement that strategy. Next, moving on to June, this would be the Formula One Tactics, as this is when that event occurs. July, the social media contest would take part, as we want to create that consistency along the whole summer, so that every month they're having an event, every month you're engaging customers to participate and being part and associated with the Bud Light Lime Mojito. And then in August, we would reveal the winners and have this ultimate pool party that would happen at night. It would be that summer nightstand, that this is the end of summer, it's your last chance to be adventurous, be daring, and Bud Light Lime Mojito is there by your side to do so.
So if we take a quick look at the $3.5 million budget that we had, we decided to allocate it on a percentage basis, with the majority of it going to the event sponsorship, being as the F1 being a huge event, will require most of our funding. Quickly, print ads in Quebec would be $350,000, along with the pool party, which will go in the online section, which is at just under $1 million. I'm now hand you to Rose, who will go over our risks and mitigations.
Perfect. So we do recognize that this plan obviously has some risk, and then we also did address them. So first of all, what if competition releases some similar products? Well, in this case, we'll just use that innovative mindset that we have, and we're just going to keep improving on new products and having new flavors, and really keep on improving the products that we currently offer to customers. And then on the other hand, another option to be looked at maybe in the longer term could be to really look into the wine and the spirits industry, see how we can propose with them and combine new products. Now, moving on in terms of measures of success, to make sure that really this plan succeeded as well as we had hoped, we have highlighted some metrics here that we could look at in order to make sure that the plan was properly implemented. So first of all, obviously the numbers of sales, to see how well the sales have been generated. The number of contestants also in terms of social media traffic, to make sure that a lot of people participated, see how much traffic that did. They link it to their Facebook, they also link it to their Twitter, to make sure that really everything was properly integrated and was gained as much visibility as possible. In terms of our retailers, we also want to get some feedback for them. Were our promotion able to increase the traffic for them? Were they able to get more customers to walk in? And finally, also our consumers' feedback and our competitors' reaction. Did they think it was good enough to copy them? If they did good, we were there before them, we beat them to it, and we're going to keep innovating for your brand and company. On that note, I will thank you for your attention, and we'll open the floor to questions.
Jalen from us. So you link Bolali Mojito to Formula 1. Don't you think that we will be able to sell more beer by using Bud Light than Bud Light and Mojito?
We're going for more of the summer feel. We figured that like hitting the streets during the daytime when drinks like sangria are bought at $20 to $30 a pitcher on Crescent during that day, we figured if we hit the streets of Crescent with something that has a more flavorful, summery pop, that it might attract more people.
I think it was you that mentioned you'd like to keep the Bud Light mega brand together
Yes.
in supermarkets. One of your key strategies was targeting Carmen as well as Jamie. Carmen, who's not habitually walking down that aisle to check out the beer section unless she's going for her husband or her boyfriend. How do we get her to purchase the product in the same aisle that she's typically on?
So I think what we like to do with this is that we want her to try the Bud Light mojito when she's offered it by a male counterpart, or when she's out with her girls and like, oh, I'd like a mojito, but I'd like that different. So having that first trial is key, and that's why we really like to make sure she understands and can test the product first to know, actually, I really enjoy that beer. It's a great option other than a mojito, other than a glass of wine. So once she has that trial, that's when she'll take on.
In all of your initiatives, is there any of them that you are planning on using maybe on activating in retailers such as grocery store and convenience store?
In terms of the promotional tactics?
Yeah, is there any promotion like you're activating F1, you're activating a big party, but is there any of them that you're going to be actually activating through the store? So in-store activation, contest, like actually, I don't know.
You bring up an excellent point. We did focus primarily on the sponsorship and the events. However, a lot of the current promotional tactics that you're using, such as rebates, 2-for-1s, can also be implemented. So this is to make sure that it will generate more traffic within the store. That way, our retailers do stay happy. On the other hand, also, if we were able to, let's say, highlight your main retailers and distributors, that could be added to the current promotion that we would be using. So, for example, available at XYZ retailer.
You guys obviously picked up on the fact that the beer industry, we associate sex to sales. How's that beer platform currently any different than any other beer that you have in your portfolio?
In terms of our competitors, really here we're able to leverage the fact that it's a unique product. A lot of companies have tried to combine flavors and that weren't very successful. Because I'm sure you know, if an alcoholic beverage stays on the shelf for more than 2-3 years, we could say it's been pretty successful, right? So based on the return that we've had in the last year, we're very confident that that can be leveraged, and leveraging it for a second year will guarantee those sales.
Most of your sponsorship are all geared toward males. Should we also try and find a sponsorship or event that are maybe more a bit geared toward women as well, since this is one of your target market too?
Was hard to find a specific event that we would come up with right away, but it's definitely something that we would consider. Golfing is also becoming a bit of a unisex sport. We could try to target it there and see if it's successful. But since our main target and our main consumer is the male, we decided to focus more on that for the time being.
Jamie, you invested $2.1 million from the $3.5 million budget on the F1 sponsorship. Do you feel that given the fact that that event is centrally located in Montreal business, it's a little bit, let's not kid ourselves, big sports is still a niche nonetheless, would it have been more advantageous to spend more money in store promos and mass media instead?
It's definitely something that we looked at also, but we figured that we use Saint Raphael as a golf example too, but we kind of want to use both of them at like a 50-50. So if we can go to other golf courses, I know there's a lot of great ones up north in Quebec, we could start going there and spreading it throughout the province through these golf courses too, which is not cheap. That's pretty much why we allocated most of our budget towards event sponsorship, because that creates the brand recognition, hopefully gets them to participate and then purchase the beer, as opposed to in stores where it's kind of hard to get them to actually make the purchase.
Do you have any idea as to how many sales this plan might generate?
According to the numbers that we have, we weren't able to come up with specific numbers to how many units or dollars it would generate, but we're looking to increase the adoption rate by at least 2 to 3%, be quite low, let's say, conservative. We understand that it's a product that's hot right now, and we're out there to get as much sales as we can, but we know that in the future, next 2 to 3 years even, this product could be absolutely obsolete and completely non-existent. So we're trying to get
Sorry
as much
guys,
as we
the
can done.
Q&A period is now over.